What is up, all you beautiful, glorious people? We are back at it. In this episode, it is a Juju and Sage collaboration. I'm not really that much into it. I popped in a little bit, but that's it. But that's not why I'm making this little quick intro before we get into the podcast. Though some of the things we said in this episode are a little bit outdated, we spent a lot of time on this, and we would appreciate it if you guys were to give it a like, listen. We have clips all throughout all social media, and we are making more EPs. Don't come and put in the comment section. This information is so old. We are aware of this, and we have been taking corrective action to address some of the things that was talked about during this episode. But with that being said, sit back, relax, enjoy. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And to the episode.
Yeah, singing.
I can't. That's so stupid. I'm sorry.
I mean, the point was to try and have it to have that genuine Pokemon feel. You know what I'm saying?
That is a little at the end for me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep it.
No, you good.
Okay, so hello everybody, and welcome to another episode for the Otaku Outsiders. This is probably a new voice for you guys to listen to. My name is Juju. You have heard me in the past when we were doing like the power scaling episode for the Otaku Outsiders. I promise I'm not a stranger. I am a person of interest. No, just kidding. But I'm also a member of the Otaku Outsiders. I'm very new, but at the same time, I'm like here hanging out and doing all my stuff. So, on today's episode, we're going to be talking about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We're going to be diving a little bit into the World Championship that is happening as we speak. It is 10:13 a.m. as of the time of the recording. So we are currently seeing a lot of the information live as it's happening. We're using the hashtags Pokemon Worlds on Twitter to keep ourselves informed and in the loop. But also, we have to talk about Generation 9. You know, it's happening. It's coming along. So, without further ado, I've already stated my name. My name is Juju, a gay named Juju on TikTok, and I used to run a podcast, which is still available on essentially Spotify and everywhere else that you can get a podcast too. It's been discontinued, but if you still want to listen to my old episodes, it's there, called A Player Named Juju. So, that introduction out of the way, I am here with Sage from the Otaku Outsiders. Give us a bow, Sage.
All right, all right. You know, it's one of the OGs from the original trio. As you heard, Juju, he claims that he's new. He not new. All right, he's the fourth person. I'ma just go ahead and clear that up because maybe he must have forgot. You the fourth person to this group. All right, we're now a quartet. We got two
You
more
know,
people in the back that cannot join the recording along with Josh and Shadow. However, this is a Pokemon connoisseur slash expertise podcast episode.
hey,
So
hey,
going ahead
hey.
and get prepared because we are not only going to discuss Generation 9, we're also going to discuss a little bit in detail as far as the live results of the World Championships, along with what the video game is upcoming and what we have so far. But we also need to discuss a couple of things from the anime. Now, we are going to give another episode at a later time, going into full detail about it. But you know,
Mm-hmm.
we got some recent changes that leads to some questions. So I'm gonna pick the first topic and let's just dive straight
Oh,
into the.
before you continue with that, I'm sorry that I'm interrupting. As of just 1 minute ago, we have a seniors world champion. Congratulations to Yasuharu S, who just won the seniors division for the Pokemon World Championship
Wait,
2022.
for those listening to the uncut version, including the before our introduction, Yeah, he pretty much said Kai. I mean, Kaido Maxa on that shit.
He rolled up to the joint. Okay, so let's look at his team
Yes.
now that we're going off with it. Like he just won and it was a clean sweep. Let me just look up what he just rolled up to the point with. Okay, so Yasuharu rolled up to the battle with a Groudon, Venusaur, and Incineroar, Bronzong, Sashin, and Thundurus, normal Thundurus, not the Therian form, versus his opponent who was running a Kartana, Thundurus, Whimsicott, Shedinja, the first time a Shedinja ever makes it to the finals of Worlds, uh, a Sachin, and a Kyogre. However, Yasuharu got the W with T-Max Venusaur partnered next to a Groudon. So what we're looking at was a full-on chlorophyll ability, sunlight under the conditions sweep from Venusaur, outspeeding most everybody inside of the division with him.
Yeah,
That was a really clean sweep, by the way. He only lost like what? No, I think he only lost two Pokemons, but then at the end it was just Venusaur and Groudon.
yeah.
So that was a hardcore victory for him.
That was such a dirty crit game, is what I'm reading inside the Twitter feed right now. It,
Hmm.
like this
And
man,
a lot of people are repping for Venusaur though, because this is the first time that Venusaur has, you know, been in a championship and actually won.
yeah, that was just a lot taken.
That is amazing. Also, it's just like how we're seeing a lot of things from like a lot of different people on Twitter and everything, just joshing and like dunking on Charizard because apparently Blastoise won the junior division and Venusaur just won the senior division, and Charizard was nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, I'm
I pro
speechless after.
I'm pro I promise I'm not bitter. I promise I'm not mad. I was just like Charizard just got dunked. Uh, anyways, so
I mean,
let's
respect
go.
for Bulbasaur, definitely on that.
Hmm.
But we gonna get back into it. Okay.
Yeah. Let's definitely get back into it. So we have to talk about Scarlet and Violet. You know, the brand new Generation 9 games are just around the corner. It's like what, September, October, it's basically 2 months and a half away
Oh yeah.
from getting to our hands, and I want them so bad. So before we even do anything else, which team are you repping? Are you repping Team Scarlet or are you repping Team Violet?
Listen. So by default, because I'm obviously gonna play both games, but from the beginning, I agreed to play Pokemon Violet. Also, I have another reason for picking Violet, not because of a star that we all know and love. Uh, but no, somebody else decided, yeah, I'm picking the red box, so I had to take the purple. But
Okay.
I'm repping the D wheel because I am a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, and I'm sorry for y'all Scarlet people. The fact that we have motorcycles, the legendaries are motorcycles, and you mean to tell me Scarlet's version is still walking on all fours, even though it's a full-on motorcycle? That's a problem. That's a
Listen, it goes
problem.
Ooga Booga, okay? Okay, like listen, Koraidon goes Ooga Booga and we love him, okay? Like he goes Unga Boonga and he goes Ooga Booga and he
Like
runs on all
I
fours
get the
and like
prehistoric
I love
thing,
him.
but like the wheel wasn't created in the past. They created the wheel in caveman time. So like, what's going on here? I need to know.
Listen, listen, we will talk about the legendary designs in a little bit, but it's nice to know that you're repping for Team Violet. I'm repping for Team Scarlet. I did that change with my best friend. when the games came out, we were like, which one are you picking? Which one are you picking? It's like, oh, I'm picking Team Scarlet. And I was like, okay, fine. Then I'm guessing I'm going for Team Violet. But we have a thing between us. It's like we get to switch the version once. Like when we initially see the version, we take a pick. And then as more information comes along and we get to see which things are in which version of the games, we have the discussion before the games comes out and we can switch once. And then he made the switch when the professors got revealed. And he was like, damn, Turo be looking fine. So he made me switch versions just because he was thirsting over Turo, and I will not let him live this down. I
Oh, so
would
you
not let him
so
live
you know
this
what you
down.
gotta do. You gotta beat his ass within the game. Like it's on site.
Oh, he has never beaten me a day in his life. We've known each other for 4 years. Whenever he tries to decides to battle me, he has never beaten me. Like it's gotten to the point where the battles are one-sided that I don't even look at the screen anymore. I just look at his face and he crumbles. It's like a whole warfare. Like, listen, it's not even a beef. It's like he thinks he has beef with me, and I just think it's cute. You know what I mean?
Oh damn. Damn.
It's
I
it's
was
so
about to give you the Michael Bay films treatment with the it's on site, about to be like do 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 do.
it's the problem is that it's so one-sided that I feel bad for the kid. Like he tries, he really, really, really tries. So it's like, dude, really? Okay, cool. Like he will do heavy damage, but not enough to take out one of my Pokemon. And it's like, yeah. And then like there goes half of his team. It's like,
Oh, so essentially what you're saying is you did what Cynthia did to Iris. I know that's like a hella early call out, but we, that's what it sounded like.
essentially it is. Essentially it is. So we're
Do
repping for
you
Team
run?
Scarlet. We're
Hold on.
Do I run what?
Do you run a Milotic by any chance?
I actually don't.
Okay, good. Because
I
I was
actually
about to
don't.
say, once you said essentially, I was like, I hope he don't run Milotic and did exactly what Cynthia did. That would have been just.
No, no, no. I run my Lodic on like more casual teams, but like we were facing each other with like the team that we had for the main story. That's how we battle.
Oh, okay.
Like essentially. So it's like my team consisted on Rillaboom, Corviknight, low key form of Toxtricity, Bolthound, Scorch, and a Galarian Rapidash. Like I double dipped on the electric type, but essentially when he came up to the plate, his team was essentially the same except for Inteleon, and instead of Scorch, he was running some other fire type from the game. Like, I keep forgetting which one it was. But like the point is, it's like when we clash, it's like, okay, cool, take your ass down. That's essentially what I do for him. But anyways, enough about that. So, Garden of Violet got revealed on February. With the first initial trailer, what we got was just random clips and essentially like a little bit of movement within the game, and then we got revealed the starters, which are Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and then Quaxley. I'm Team Quaxley. I know for a fact that you're also Team Quaxley, correct?
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. So essentially, what we got was that, but we still didn't have the initial name for the region. So, just going like by what you remember from February, how hyped were you, or were you also part of the team that was like, maybe this is still a little bit too early because we're still riding the wave from Pokemon Legends of Arceus?
So my whole look at it was Pokemon Legends Arceus just gave me clarity on an extensive 10-year journey as a trainer trying to complete my legendary quest. I was like, I'm
Mm,
not going to call myself a Pokemon trainer that collects legendaries if I can't have one and I just wanted one, which was Arceus. I've always been a
Mm-hmm.
fan since his movie. We're not talking about Hoopa for the new kids. I'm sorry. No, no. Let's break out the books and talk about the Jewel of Life. I saw that. I was like, okay, yeah, that's the god of Pokemon right there. He proved it. It is what it is. And then I also played Pokemon Conquest. So I needed to play Legends Arceus to capture Arceus. And then I did it in the remakes. However, as far as getting Gen 9 news while we're still like mid season for Legends Arceus, I can tell you right now, I dropped the game as soon as I finished. I was like, I completed the main Pokedex. I only need to catch like 3 more. Then you can perfect it if you want to, but then it's nothing else left to it, you know? Everybody, including myself, for the most part, Juju, you can correct me if I'm wrong when I say this, but we're
Mm-hmm.
looking for that open world Pokemon game where we get the gym leaders from all regions. There's no more level cap, it's straight skill, almost similar to an anime. I know that's like 10 years away from now if we ever do get it, but that's essentially where our level
Where
is
your
at.
mindset is at.
Yeah,
Okay,
so once
okay.
I finished Legends Arceus and I went through the challenge of God, because I did get my
Mm-hmm.
ass whooped by Arceus. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I don't play Dark Souls games. And yeah, he whooped my ass multiple times.
He whooped you real good. Like I would say for a fact, like it's still like how many months has it been since Arceus came out? Okay, so Arceus came out in January. We're on August, so essentially it's been 7 months, and I still haven't been able to like completely 100% the whole story because I'm still on the process of completing the video game, the Pokédex. But the majority of the scale, like essentially, I already seen the first end credits. Essentially in what you would call the post game for Legends of Arceus. But we'll say this: I was part of the team that was like suspicious about it on the first thing, like going by my initial question, and it was like because I did not expect Generation 9. It's something that completely threw me off when they did the reveal for it because like what I was expecting that happened on the International Day of Pokemon was that we were going to get the usual Pokemon countdown where we see the top 10 world favorite Pokemons. I was expecting to see one of the evolutions there, maybe even Greninja because people still hype up the frog. I If I say the frog, you already know how I feel about it. I think it's a little bit too overhyped for what we did ended up getting. I'm not too much of a big fan for it. I still believe that if they were gonna give this much hype to Greninja, they should have given it to the other two, because essentially Delphox and Chestnut got shafted, but the one that got like the really, really, really short end of the stick was Chestnut, because we don't even see him in anywhere else. Like at least we see Delphox or Brigson in like Pokken or Pokemon Unite now with Delphox being in the game and Greninja is in the game.
No, but
Sorry about that.
Chestnut he got his up. He's getting his up as we speak. But I'll again, everything has to come back later once we start talking about the anime because Leon he used Chestnut and got in that ass.
No, no, that was Alon.
Pause.
That was
Pause
Alon,
in the
and
same
Alon got
sentence.
beat. Sorry. Oh, Sosa, you scared me.
I was like, oh, let me hop in and see how they're doing.
Yeah, we're doing fine.
Chestnut, and he got in their ass. I was like, whoa, pause. Pause.
No, no, like he got beat. Like that's essentially what we're saying. Can we help you? I feel like you just like interrupted. Like, what you need?
No, I decided to just like hop in and add some commentary, just like pretend I'm not
Okay,
here.
so essentially,
Oh,
to
hold on, wait,
everybody
hold on,
who's been
wait, hold on,
listening,
wait. Before we even continue, how many badges you got, bro?
how many badges you got? Right,
Badge check right now.
I
bad
have less
check.
than 8. Actually no. I think no. I have all eight. I have all eight from Brilliant Diamond. I ain't got no math.
Oh, okay.
Essentially you only have like the 8 from Sinnoh. Got it. Okay, cool.
Hold on, wait. Did you
So
beat Cynthia? Did you go through the nightmare?
No, because I haven't touched that game in like 2, maybe 3 months.
Okay,
then
even if
you can't sit with us.
Sagna, Sagna.
No, we were pink on Friday, right? And unfortunately, because we haven't beaten the game, you can't. You need a toodaloo. Okay, all right. I'll see how it is.
Listen, we actually have to go through a max check in the games before you can touch the league. You can try to arrive to the Pokemon League early as fuck, even if the game's allowed you to. But once they see that you don't have the badges, they're gonna turn you around and say, "Nah, you're not worthy. Don't don't come through." They did that in Kalos, Kanto, and I believe Hoenn.
Yeah, there was like a part. There was a part on Hoenn that you can just arrive to the Pokemon League before like the thing. But I believe it was like on early Ruby and Sapphire.
Yeah.
So, anyways, back to the topic at hand. By the way, to those listening in and wondering what the heck was that? That was Sosa. The essential patriarch of the podcast. He just hopped in a little bit to check on the kids, I guess. But anyways, on to what I was saying. Yeah,
Unless
but it just
I'll just let
what?
the children run wild.
Okay,
Good job.
okay. Uh, there's
Hey,
anyways.
I'm at the gym. Like I'm trying to keep myself entertained because I got like I got 5 hours to kill for unnecessary reasons. So yeah.
Okay, so sad. On mute. Thank you. So essentially, what I was saying was Chestnut still gets essentially shafted. Alon used Chestnut, not Leon. Leon used Rillaboom.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're
Chest
right.
Chestnut tried it, and I'm glad that they at least gave him more than 2 minutes on screen time. But still, he ended up getting beat. The one redeeming factor would have to I would always say that like the one redeeming factor would have been to see Chestnut on either Pokken or on either Pokemon Unite. We still have hope for Pokemon Unite, but essentially what happened was even this year, actually just like 2 days ago, to continue on with Generation 9 and everything new that is happening and whatnot, Pokken got discontinued essentially from like World Championships and to be eligible in the Pokemon Play program. Pokemon has
So
basically been
can you
discontinued.
explain for everyone else, including myself, what the hell Pokken is? Because I
Okay,
had never heard of it until we
so
started talking about this.
Pokken Deluxe DX are essentially video games made for the Nintendo Wii U and the Nintendo Switch, where it was a Pokemon cross Tekken inspired fighting game. It was basically a roster of around, was it 20, 25 Pokemon that they ended up adding that you could choose to fight against one another in the classic arcade style of Tekken. And you would essentially pit, and they had like a little bit of a story progression to it. Nothing too big, but they still had like a little bit of a story into it. But essentially, what happened with Pokken was that after they did the move to the Switch, after they essentially added two new battlers into it, Pokken just went out into obscurity. It was still considered for the championships. It was still considered for the Pokemon League and for the Pokemon Play program, but essentially they stopped developing. They stopped working on it. They stopped doing the things for it, and fans were a little bit disheartened by it. We were expecting to see so much more from it. Like we had Suicune, we had Gardevoir, we had Braixen in the game. Obviously, Garchomp had to be in it somewhere. And the initial reveal for the game was with Lucario, Pikachu, Blaziken, Sceptile was in it. We were expecting to see perhaps maybe even what you call it, Swampert, Venus. No. Blastoise and Charizard were in the game. Like a lot of people were actually hyped for it, but it ended up getting discontinued, and a lot of the people that have championship for it will eventually feel shafted. And what we thought was that maybe Chestnut was going to get like a second breath inside of the scene of Pokemon, but we didn't. And now we're just waiting to see if maybe he appears on Pokemon Unite. But even then, it's like we're not gonna get too much. So I this is going back, circling back to the main question that I had for myself that I made originally, like about 10 minutes ago. Essentially, what I thought was that Generation 9 was not gonna happen this year. I was fully with the program of, oh, maybe it's coming next year. Like I was going under the impression that we were gonna have maybe a DLC for Legends of Arceus, because remember that we're still on the Sinnoh region, right? And we essentially had these big three maps, but what we never got was the Battle Frontier map on the Sinnoh
Oh,
scale.
they
Like we yeah, like when you go to Snow Point City in the Sinnoh region, and you take that little boat that gets you to that other additional mass of islands where you had like the Battle Frontier and you had that additional other ecosystem. I thought we were gonna go there in Legends of Arceus with a DLC, but essentially what they did was like, oh, we're just doing the mass outbreaks and the potential of seeing alpha Pokemons and the evolved form of Pokemons in the wild. Not a bad concept, but not what I had in mind. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
And
hold on. Aren't there like some Pokemon that can only evolve after you trade them?
yeah.
yes,
So
essentially there is, but in Pokemon Legends of Arceus, what they did was that they introduced an item called the Link Cable, like to
You
harbor back
mean
and do.
reintroduce? Even though I'm
No, like
20.
okay, yeah, but like the thing is, like the Link Cable was an IRL item, where you could potentially trade Pokemons with one another. Remember when we used to connect physically the Game Boys or the Game Boys Advance or the Game Boy SP to one another before the Wi-Fi connection, local connection thing happened? Oh my God, I just dated myself. Oh
Yeah,
my God, I feel so old.
I wasn't trying to
Oh,
do
I
that on purpose, but like it left the opportunity open.
Oh, my knees just cracked. I felt my spine de-align in several in several chords, and I was like,
knees hurt. Don't your knees hurt?
not just was kidding. Like, essentially, what Pokemon Legends of Arceus did was that they introduced the link cable item, and you could just give it to a Pokemon that would need to be traded to evolve, and you can just evolve it there. That's how you get Gengar. That's how you get Alakazam. That's how you get Machamp. You know, all the other good stuff.
Yeah.
So, so I thought we were going to see a little bit more development, at least for Legends of Arceus, since essentially they hyped it up into such a regard that I was expecting a little bit more from them. You know what I mean? I was like expecting maybe a little bit more from them. So you can imagine the sucker punch when we saw the first initial trailers. I actually liked them a lot. And those trailers, now looking back at it with all the information that we have right now, they actually said a lot without saying anything at all. Does that make sense?
Yeah. They
Because like they
literally put everything out on the plate in front of us. We took the plate and then was expecting more when really it was just, all right, here you go. This is what you get.
essentially, yeah, essentially, yeah. It was like we was like, oh, by the way, here's all these oranges, all these grapes. Here are the colors. Here's the things. Here's a general feel for it, and we're just like, oh, okay, cool. Because harboring back and like throwing back to the initial trailer, remember we did see a lot of treasure maps and a lot of relics and a lot of like treasure hunting. It was essentially in a vault of treasure, and like now looking back at it with the information that we had from like the August trailer and the June trailer, we're like, huh, this makes more sense. So that's with that in mind, we're now going to leeway into the essentially the June trailer. Remember the June trailer? If not, then we can like pause for a second and like help you get oriented with it. That was the one where we actually got like the 2 minutes, the professor's revealed, and then the best Pokemon of all
Hold on,
times.
hold on. Before we talk about them Pokemon, them trainers, they can get it. Like one, I would bark. The other one, I would be a dog for. There's a slight difference, but like him, I can get at him. I, I see you finally make a professor sexy. All right, I see you.
Finally,
My God. Sosa, corner. We're not doing the thirsty stuff. Jesus.
hold up. I ain't even
Why
going
not?
there, but I'm just saying, finally. What do you mean? Listen, Professor Oak got game, okay? How you think Ash be getting a
Whoa,
whole allowance?
whoa, whoa, whoa. All right.
That's a different
That
story.
that is someone's like grandpa.
It's
That
his
is literally someone's
it's his
grandpa.
rival's grandfather, by the way.
It don't matter. That's like having Joseph Joestar as your dad, right? It's weird. It's weird when you're like 16 and he's in his 70s. It's fucking weird.
But he still did it though.
Oh my God.
We know what would be happening in
All right, so
Kanto.
so 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 uh, let's move on to the Pokemon that kind of looks like Joseph Joestar. On that note, the water type Dr. Pokemon, kind of cute and adorable.
Oh, we already
Quaxley is
discussed him.
adorable, yes.
Yeah. That's the game.
Quaxley is adorable. We basically just said like their names and we haven't really gone in depth on them because like I'm getting to that, but like simps be gone. Okay? We're trying to keep
What do
we're
you
trying to
mean?
oh my God.
So without further ado, let's talk about the second trailer that we got in June, which essentially
Exactly.
it was
Just
2 minutes.
revealed that
Yeah.
it was 2 minutes. 2 minutes. First and foremost, they introduced Nemora. They introduced your rival that will do battle with you. And she revealed Pawmi, which is this region's essentially Pika clone, how we got to call them. What do you think about Pawmi? Do we like Pawmi? Do we not like Pawmi? Because I'm still like indifferent to it.
I mean, once it's confirmed as the Pika clone, I just stopped caring. I'm like, all right, this gonna be
Mm.
the Pika clone. Like, if I need the electric type, I know what to look for. I ain't really
Mm-hmm.
too avid about using Pikachu anyway, and that's just me personally. Unless I'm using it
Mm-hmm.
like red type Pikachu.
Okay. We'll circle back to that because we still need to like maybe a little bit further on this episode. We're gonna talk about the spoilers, and I'll circle back to you on that one. Okay.
Yeah,
So then we got Smoliv. Any feels for Smoliv? Any input? Because I thought it was kind of cute.
we're not talking about yeah, I remember.
Smoliv is the little small olive. It's literally in the name. Smoliv, like the one with the little the green kind of looks like a Boudieu with anxiety.
Okay, yeah, I remember who you're talking about now. That
Okay,
one
okay.
I
Wait,
got I got high
they
hopes
letting
for.
You
they
have
letting
high hopes
Pokemon
for
have
it?
emotions now?
Yeah, they've always had emotions. They've
I'm
literally made
joking.
Pokemon. They've literally made Pokemon based on emotions. In Galar, there's a Pokemon called a Hatine, Hatina, and Hatterene, which is essentially a vibe check in Pokemon form. Like it's literally stated in the Pokedex. If you have bad vibes, Hatterene will
Kill
find you
you.
and beat you up. And beat you up. I love it. It's like if I'm feeling an off day,
That's
a Hatterene will.
aggressive.
Uh, a
That's
Hatterene
really
will literally
aggressive.
a Hatterene will literally come into my house if I'm feeling a little bit off or if I'm little or feeling a little bit anxious and will beat me up. Honestly, a mood. Honestly, a vibe. That's a whole vibe and a half. That's like honestly, yes. Honestly, beat me up. Anyways, so we have Smoliv. I think it's kind of cute. I'm expecting a lot for it, but you know what I'm expecting? I'm not expecting it to evolve into like a Rose Rates type of Pokemon or like a Serena type of Pokemon. If anything, I want it to evolve into a Trevenant type of Pokemon. Do you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
know Trevenant?
Oh
Like I
yeah,
want it to be a
definitely.
whole. I want it to be a whole tree, like a whole olive tree, and it's just like, yeah, I started out small and kind of like wimpy, but then I evolved into like this tanky, like frontline type of thing, or maybe like a tanky supporter type of thing. Because essentially, olives are very important for like European culture and so on and so forth. But this is a game based on Spain, by the way. If you didn't know, now you do. But like, you will extend the olive branch, as a form of like camaraderie and like friendship and so on and so forth. So it's like I'm expecting a little bit more of a supportive style with Olive. You know what I mean? Considering like the design scape and everything. Does
And
that make sense?
that's why I have high hope for it. Essentially, what you just said right there, and with it being, like extending the olive branch type analogy, literally,
Mm-hmm.
I just feel as if similar to. I'm kind of gonna reference the new champion in this case, right? So you take that G-Max Venusaur. Now, even though we're not
Yeah,
gonna have G-Max, we have a different gimmick this time.
yeah.
Still,
And we're gonna talk about
essentially,
it when we get to the August trailer. Yes.
yeah. So when we get um the new grass type starter, for example, its new maximum grass type move, and then you just slap on the supportive power if they do take that route. Now they could just make this Pokemon evolve once and it be broken straight out the game. They could do that.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it
They
with
could
Trevenant.
potentially do that.
Yeah, they could.
Yep.
But
Yep.
if they don't, still from a supportive mindset, that's a whole lot of support. Just saying, you can definitely
Mm-hmm.
use it like prankster ability, Whimsicott, and then you just slap on Cotton Guard, what's it called? Effect Spore. Essentially all the different types of status effects or ring effects.
It does not have Prankster. I believe it has other abilities. I think it's Early Bird and Chlorophyll, like either more speed or sleep. Really, just sleeps for one turn, and that's pretty much it. So we're gonna have to find out to see if the evolution brings anything else to the table. But essentially, what we got is that. And then what else? Oh, of course, the best Pokemon of all times, Lechonk.
Lechonk.
I love Lechonk so much. It's like, are you kidding me? It's like a little chunky pig, and I need to have one in my team. Like I basically stated that, and I will die on this hill. I will have a Lechonk and its evolution on my team till I finish the game. I'm not playing. I'm not like hesitating. Like it's going on my team, and I'm not stopping until like I finish the game with a Lechonk on my team. Like it, it,
So,
it is
so what you're
happening.
saying is you want the chunky beefy boy on your thing just because it's the chunky beefy boy that you can turn into bacon in real work in real life.
Corner now. Corner
This is what
now.
happens when I don't have to be in charge and I can be in the chaos. It feels good. Now I see why you guys do it.
But no, see, Lechonk for me is going to be a redemption arc for my first beginning Pokemon story. Now, me being a full American here in the chat, the Unova region had a whole bunch of hype to it, but they did my man's Tim Pig bad. Pig Knight was decent. Embor, you just took away all of his speed. He was a heavy hitter, all right, and I still
Mm-hmm.
won my championship against N, Alder, and Iris using my Embor. But like that shit kind of hurt. Okay, I had to go through trials and tribulations. Clay
Listen,
trial and
Emboar is a good Pokemon overall. It has the highest HP and the highest attack from any of the starters in the fire variety. So he's good. He's just really, really slow. And
but that's
he gets to go home knowing to of being the only fire starter. that can have access to a water type move, which Scald.
Yes, which
So,
is why I'm like he's still up there. Don't get me wrong. I'ma always
mhm.
love my Emboar. My Emboar is sitting right here in my Pokemon home right now, and I'm like, give me the day for when I can bring out my first Pokemon, the one that
That's
started it
that's
all.
me with Superior. That's me with Superior. I am counting down the days that I can bring Superior and my whole brood of Superiors to like the new generation of games. Because like Samurai got his time of the day, like Pokemon Legends of Arceus with Oshawott being one of the starters. You potentially have like Hisuian Samurai, and like that's good for it. And I'm like, yeah, I can see it. I'm looking forward to it. It's also one of the reasons why I was expecting the DLC, because like the DLC could potentially mean that we can have the other two starters for the other trio that we're missing. With Cyndaquil, I was expecting maybe Hisuian Meganium, Hisuian Feraligatr, with a Rowlet, Hisuian Incineroar, Hisuian Primarina, and then potentially Oshawott, Hisuian Superior, Hisuian Emboar with the DLC, because that would have been great. That would have been straight up fantastic. And you want to know how? It's because essentially what they could have done was like, depending on the initial starter that you chose the game with, this is just me rick rolling, me doing like random like head cannons or stuff. Like, in no way or form, by the way, this is a very huge disclaimer, in no way or form am I claiming this is to be real, because it's August and we haven't gotten no word for any DLC, no word from any update for the Pokemon Legends of Arceus games or something. And like the last update that we got was just a cosmetic option based on the Hisuian Snow special, but that's pretty much it. So essentially, what I thought was going to happen was that with the DLC, you could potentially unlock the other two starters to complete the trio with your original starter from the game once you reach that plateau of the additional area from Sinnoh, which I'm blanking really, really hard on the name. So I'm just gonna take a moment
Are you
now
talking about the
to
Temple Sinnoh, or are we talking about?
no, no, no. Okay, so what I'm talking about is essentially the oh my god, what was it called? Okay, so you remember when you finish the Sinnoh games and you get access to a new area within Sinnoh,
Are
but
you
it's
talking
like
about?
where you get Heatran in the games. You remember Heatran?
Oh, so you're talking about Stark Mountain?
No, 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 no. Okay. Oh
Yeah,
my
the
god,
Battle
like let me just
Frontier.
yeah, yeah, the Battle Frontier area. Like
Yeah,
the whole Battle Frontier area. Well, I'm talking about that. I thought in Legends of Arceus we were gonna get potentially that, and then we could potentially get like the other two starters that you didn't get, like to complete the set, like the Johto starters, the Alola starters, the Unova starters. You know what I mean? Like I was willing to risk it and like completely delete my save file if it meant that I could get Hisuian Superior at the end. But didn't happen. And I'm still happy with my Hisuian type evolution, not gonna lie. But I was expecting more, you know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, he still spit out that ghost type move, which is amazing. Infernal
Listen,
Parade. That is
Infernal Parade.
so beautiful. I'm like, you did my man's justice. It took.
Typhlosion Typhlosion ended up winning. Like, are you kidding me? Typhlosion ended up winning. Like, I'm still kind of disheartened by Samurott. The Sidroid looks fine. I'm not gonna lie. The Sidroid is a really hard Pokemon to look not cool. You know what I mean? Like whatever you do with the Sidgeway, it's gonna end up looking cool. That's already on its own.
It's
It's not
Robin
even
Hood.
an owl. Exactly. It's not even an owl anymore. It's essentially it evolves from an owl to a barn owl to essentially like a falcon on two legs. Because once you remove the hood, it looks like a hunting falcon. And even on the concept art for it, like there's concept art with the Sidgeway without the hood, it's pretty cursed, but it doesn't look like an owl anymore. It looks essentially like a falcon. So it's like, I love this. It still stays on theme with the birds of prey. And essentially, what you're making is that its wings are weapons. and then they made it bipedal, and it's like, huh. And then they gave you the option of like, oh, by the way, it still shoots the arrows because that is still like iconic from it. But get this, we're doing kung fu, and it's like, yes, yes, like it looks cool regardless of what you do.
Listen,
Samurai,
they just took
it's
Kung Fu
the same,
Panda. Literally, they took,
essentially. They
yeah.
took Master Crane from Kung Fu Panda and they made it a thing, but still they ate with that. Like they served. They might have not ate, but they served.
Oh no, they definitely ate.
Diplotion, Diplotion. Oh, ate, left no crumbs. Asked for second, third, and fourth. Ate them all. Served you again and said bon appetit. Like girl, I got no qualms with Diplotion at all. However, Samurai. However, Samurai. I'm like, damn, you couldn't stand on two legs. You couldn't go like do something different. Like
Super
what's
Samurai
good?
mode, like you could have watched Power Rangers. You got a whole new typing, and you ain't
you,
go Super Samurai mode. You ain't say none of that. You just still sitting there on four legs.
yeah, yeah. It's like, baby, you couldn't do nothing different. Like you were a mono water type, and now you got the water and dark type. But all you got was like new color hood. Like baby, like stand on two legs, do something else. Like could you not gone with like the whole Conkelder type of thing? You know, Conkelder from Generation 5, the one that walks with the concrete pillars on each hand. Just
Heck,
imagine Samurai walking around with one of its tails always out. You know what I mean? Like that would have been great. I was like, oh my god, like damn, okay, word, go on. But it's like still on the four legs, and you just got more spikes everywhere. Okay. It doesn't help that base Samurai, like in the game, when you throw it out at the Pokeball, it's it's not that big. He's Samurai. It's not that big. Samurai looks like a Labrador. You know what I mean? Like he looks like a random dog.
yeah, like they could have
Sorry,
done so much better.
sorry. It's just like you look like a random dog. Like you're not gonna like stand on four legs. You're not gonna do something. It's like, oh, okay, okay, I guess. But that's not what we're talking about. I'm sorry. I keep jumping off topic. So we got that going off. And then we talked about the June trailer. We talked about the professors. We talked about the new Pokemon that got revealed there. And essentially confirmation of older Pokemons coming in. We got Talonflame, we got Sarina, we got Hatterene, we got Swablu and Altaria. We got essentially a lot of more Pokemon. And then that ended, and we went on radio silence for like about a month, which drove everybody absolutely feral. I can tell you for a fact, like my Twitterverse and everybody they were just feral. They were like frothing at the mouth. They just needed new information. And then we got the August trailer, which in my mind, in my eyes, is still one of the best trailers. First and foremost, the August trailer is quite of a doozy. So we're gonna be on topic for like a minute. Okay, I'm not gonna bring out Legends of Arceus. I'm not gonna bring out any of the other things
Oh
because
yeah, like we
this
gotta
trailer,
fully break it
this
down.
trailer, yeah, this trailer was the big one. This trailer was like, hi and welcome to the Paldea region. First and foremost, the name Paldea region. I don't know if you're a Spanish speaker or not, but for those of you at home that don't know, I'm Puerto Rican, so I speak Spanish. Aldea is essentially village, and like Paldea, it's like for me, it sounds like Pangea or like like the random like we're gonna do like a Jurassic Park type of thing. We're gonna name it after a Jurassic period, all that stuff. It kind of harbors to that, but I know what they did. It's like Aldea and the P for Pokemon, like Paldea. It it sounds good. However, it brings out a lot of imagery when I say the name, especially Palkia. I don't know if it happens to you.
Um, like enunciating on the P or just in general.
Just saying the name. Just saying the name. Like Paldea. It sounds like Palkia. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I call it the Paldea region.
Yeah, the Paldea region. You use that accent, and so we have the Paldea region. We have, oh, by the way, the school setting. got even more in depth to it. Then we ended up getting even more characters added into the game. Essentially, the bigger confirmation here, I'm not diving into like the other Pokemon that got introduced and all that stuff, because essentially what it harbors and boils down to is we're gonna get three main stories. We already have one, which is the gym challenge one, but essentially we have one that has to do with flags. As of the time of this recording, it's August 21st. We still do not know what the flags will equal to. Like, we just know that we have flags, and then we have one that, according to the Pokemon trailers and according to the video itself, is essentially just we're going to explore the region and like search for ingredients.
The
What do you think is going to happen? Like, what are your thoughts on it? Like, considering that we have three main storylines.
So, from my understanding of having the three storylines, the flags were supposed to represent like the evil team, because, and then that's where everything would go down, because every
Mm.
city, it wouldn't be necessarily like, oh yeah, you're the traditional style of, okay, we have 8 gym leaders, because they said, oh, you can go around and beat the gym leaders however you want. It's just dependent upon what level your Pokemon is. That's how hard it's going to be. So essentially, we're getting the anime treatment now when it comes to the gym story. So now we really got to focus on, okay, who the evil team is, and then the school setting, which is traveling the region. But honestly, I think them saying that it was just three separate stories is just trying to separate the game experience all out, so that way we have, they're trying to floodgate it from what we're used to, because it really does sound like a traditional main series Pokemon game where we get the gym leaders, the evil team, and the legendary story. Because the third one, in regards to the treasure hunt, is essentially,
Mm-hmm.
okay, once you get all the pieces, then you run into the legendary. But if you do all three at the same time, which it sounds like the game is going to let you do all three at the same time instead of one by
Mm.
one, then you
Mm-hmm.
just played a regular Pokemon game as the previous generations. It's just, okay, cool. We didn't let you eat it all up at once because we're still working on DLC.
Mm.
That's my
It's
standpoint.
kind of like, yeah, and that's a very valid point. I have to bring it up to the table. Thank you so much for the input. If so, you can choose to do all three stories at the same time. Essentially, this is something that we have to basically bring input to, because it's going to happen. Like, this is not an option of either if it's not or if it will. It's going to happen where we're going to be like, oh, I finished all three storylines at the same time because I didn't pace myself. You know what I mean? It's like you don't get to finish one storyline and then jump into the other one from zero. Like, essentially what you're gonna do, or at least what we think was gonna happen, because remember, at the time of this recording, the game is not out. We still don't know how it's gonna work out. So we are going to by hypothesis here. So it's either going to be like, oh, by the way, here you go. You get to go off into the main story and get to have fun. You choose your three things. You take them at the same time, and then you go step by step. Like, let's say I finish one gym, and then I go do this other thing with the flags, and then I go do this other thing with like the treasure hunt, and I keep up with them at the same time and at the same pacing. Essentially, what's gonna happen is we're gonna finish the game, and then we're just gonna be stuck there. Like, and now what? You know what I mean? And
Mm.
that's something like that's really hard to think about in that mindset, because like, now what? I hate that concept. Like, the whole like, yo, now what? Oh.
For seasoned trainers like us, this is the number one thing that hits us. Like, it's the now what, and then yeah, we appreciated the games and we still appreciate it, but then now we gotta wait like 5 years before we even touch the game again if we're not in the competitive scene,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not filling. Now with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet coming out, they already stated their intentions of making this like a MMORPG, a mix between the two, which is great because if that's the case,
Mm-hmm.
we're relying on not just what we have as far as the actual game content, but now let's say our friend groups, like how we normally do, we pick out the typing
Mm-hmm.
for the starters.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's
Mm-hmm.
okay, essentially, you can't progress without me. Because if you progress without me, now you messing up our friendship type deal, which is not a
Basically.
guarantee, but peer pressure is a real thing. We know what's gonna
Mm-hmm.
happen.
Yep, yep, yep. So essentially is we have that. I'm not gonna try to dive too much into it because otherwise it's gonna get heated here. But at the same time, it's like, okay, so we do the story, we do the progression, we finish the story, and then the now what? That's gonna hurt us in the end. But essentially, we have hope still because again, the games are not out, and the map Paldea looks thick. You know what I mean? Paldea looks thick. Paldea looks big. Paldea looks like we have a lot to explore.
It looks like an actual
And
region versus what we've been getting.
exactly,
Now,
exactly. It looks like
no
an actual
disrespect,
region.
but
No disrespect to none other regions.
Galore was just basic. It looked big,
Galar.
but I mean, yeah, the Galar region, it looked big, but it wasn't. It really wasn't. Even
That's
once you added
it
the
was.
DLC, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was very much smoke and mirrors, and that is something that thank you so much for bringing up into the table. Because like, listen, this is the only this is the only instance that we're going to like divert from the main topic at hand. Is we're going to talk about the regions for a little bit. Uh, Galar and the issue with Galar was that Galar essentially, without diving too much into it, because I've already talked about it at length in my own podcast, Galar felt rushed. No matter what happened, Galar felt rushed. And it was so hard for me to center myself in Galar. Because essentially what you have your monorails, like go do this, very linear concept. And then you had your open space area, which was the wild area, which was the thing that the Galar region was going to be known for. It's like, oh my god, this is the wild area, and this is da. And essentially, when we saw the wild area, it's like, oh, it's just a lot of smaller ecosystems all plopped on top of one another and then expected to do bigger things. You know what I mean? It's like at the end of the day, you have your little ghost area, you have your little grass area, you have your little meadow with a lot of other Pokemon. You have your water zones, you have your steel areas, you have your under the bridge area with like a little bit of grass, a little bit of water, and other stuff. And then at the far end, once you're reaching the other end of the Galar region with the bigger and other ends of the gym leaders and all that other stuff, you essentially have like this is your little lake, this is your little desert, this is your little like prairie. I ended up not liking the Galar Wild area. And then with Paldea, what we're going to see, hopefully so, is already in the map. You can see the ecosystems. And if you look at it deeply, most of the things that are going to happen within the maps is going to be like, oh, by the way, this is big ecosystem and we're expecting it to be big. So what they did was, this is something that's going to happen a lot. And this is something that I did say that was going to happen all the time. Galar was an experiment to see if the Switch could handle a Pokemon game. Then came Legends of Arceus, and first and foremost, before Legends of Arceus first came Pokemon Go, Pokemon Let's Go, and essentially was like, okay, can we do the overworld on the Pokemon things all over the place with like a world beloved game, which is the red and white, the red and blue, sorry, the red and blue series, and then oh right, we're gonna make it like Pokemon Yellow. You know what I mean? It happened. We did the thing. We did the new capture mechanic. Okay, great. We're updating the models. We're updating the mechanics. Because if you pay attention, in Pokemon Let's Go, they did an upgrade on the mechanics and on the models of the Pokemon. Perfect. Great. Then we had Legends of Arceus. which essentially introduced the concept of depth and verticality within the game. Love that concept.
Oh yeah.
Love that concept. Love the fact that Dino feels huge. However, what they're doing is they're making it by sections. They're making it by sandbox areas, just to experiment how much we can get away within one area versus the next. Not a bad concept. I will not, Josh. I will not take a shot at Legends of Arceus. Legends of Arceus really was that girl. You know what I mean? Like Legends of Arceus map. She ate, she served, she gave us everything that we needed and more. However, on the Paldea region, what we're going to be seeing is a lot of ecosystem and hopefully like depth to the game. Like we're seeing verticality, we're seeing like all this freedom of movement. The only thing is, we're not going to have the capture mechanic from Legends of Arceus, which is okay. You know, let Legends of Arceus have its own little gimmick. Because since this is a brand new game, I'm expecting that either if we move, this is just me going like if we move into like perhaps Paldea number 2, like Scarlet and Violet 2, or like the possible third instance of the game, even though they have basically confirmed with Galar that they're not gonna do that anymore. We might see the return of the Legends of Arceus mechanic, where we have like the capture mechanic, which I like a lot. However, I'm already looking forward for the Paldea because Paldea will feel big with a capital big, and that's I love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because literally here you can look at the region, you can tell by the map it has big potential as any other one. But because again, you can't have an MMO and then not have a big game. Because if I'm stuck going to the same places over and over again, it better be, oh yeah, I'm stuck in like turn back cave, but it's not turn back cave type vibes. I'm still stuck here because it's just that big of a section.
Mm-hmm.
Like I need to take more than 2 to 3 days to beat the damn game. Because if I'm beating the game, and I said this on my Twitter, I was like, stop giving these new kids championships, because that's what we're doing. I literally have to tell my brother, I'm like, no, you're just too soft. The only reason why he got through Pokemon Platinum, because I made him sit there and play the game by himself. He only got through there
Mm-hmm.
because he made sure that his starter Pokemon, Infernape, was level
Mm-hmm.
76. The rest of his team,
Mm-hmm.
he used it like body bags. I was like, so you understand the struggle. You just chose to take the easy way out by leveling up one
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon, because the newer games, they automatically have the EXP share and everything. You're not really having to sit there and focus on one Pokemon except for pick the right moves for this battle.
Mm-hmm.
Versus, no, you gotta sit up there, switch out your Pokemon. Yeah, your starter is supposed to be the ace of your team, unless you said, no, my starter's not the ace of my team. Whoever the ace is needs to be on ace status. But everybody else should be
Mm-hmm.
able to go toe to toe with your ace. Because what if that ace go down? Then you gotta go and rely on 5 other Pokemon, and you mean to tell me they're all level 5? Oh hell no! Because soon as they take away that EXP share function, then what? The kids,
Mm-hmm.
the junior league, like how you were telling me and what I was seeing in the Twitter feed, I'm proud of them because again, they understand what it means to battle. It's not some, oh, I'm just throwing it out there just to throw it out there, let's be on some anime vibes. No, because the original games, even if we're not talking about red and blue, gold and silver, no. Let's talk about ruby, sapphire, emerald, diamond and pearl, the originals, platinum, black and white 2, and Carlos, all together, X and Y. Literally, the gym leaders made sure that you knew why they were called a gym leader. Whitney with her milk tank. Then you had what's his name? You had Juan with Milotic. which was essentially
Juan and Wallace with
yes,
Milotic.
yes, both of them with Milotic, both of
Actually,
them.
Juan had a Kingdra. That's even bringing it hard.
But he did the same thing that Claire did, essentially, along with Dragonite.
hmm
Again,
hmm
these gym leaders made sure that you understood, okay, yeah, you're not gonna get my badge just because, oh, we're supposed to test you to see if you're worthy to go to the league. Because soon as you go to the league, it's a whole level, it's a 20 level difference from the 8th gym leader. And if you struggled all the way through the first 8 gyms, once you hit the league, you know, oh snap, I'm still under leveled. Okay, I'm gonna actually have to think of a strategy. Pray to God that these numbers kick into play, because we're not even really focused on RNG anymore. It's not
Oh,
the
but
same.
I'm taking a little bit of your time, but it's 11:16, and we have a World Masters Division champion. Congratulations to Eduardo Cunha from Portugal, who won.
Ooh,
This is a first. It's been a minute since Portugal has ever won in a Masters, and he won, and his team consisted on Gastrodon, Incineroar, Thunderous, Calyrex with the Ghost Horse. I keep forgetting this name. Uh, Gorilla Boom and Sashian. Congratulations to him, and he went toe to toe with Guillermo Castilla, with Groudon, Incineroar, Lunala, Grimmsnarl, Charizard, and Reggie Elecki. So Charizard was in finals, but Charizard did not win.
listen, but that's all that matters. It's the fact that everybody sits up there and is like, Charizard is the better one. Nah.
Oh, sweetie, no, 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 no. Venusaur and Blastoise won their games. Charizard lost.
Yeah, no, and I'm fine with that for this year because let's be honest here. And again, we gonna hit this once we get later into the anime.
Mm.
Literally, Charizard has been pretty much the number 2 mascot for the company.
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, number 3, because remember, Eevee got heightened.
Oh yeah, but still, even then,
hmm
if you take Eevee out
Yeah,
of the question, it's been Pikachu then Charizard.
Charizard. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so that being said, yes, the Paldea region. Unfortunately, going for one of the topics that you did say, uh, it has been confirmed that the EXP chair is active. Like, there's no way to turn it off. So unfortunately, there still will be like a little bit on the easy mode with it.
These kids are all be soft.
Yeah, it's a little bit on the harder side of the things, but honestly, you know what? They can get the experience share for everybody, but at the end of the day, if they don't know how to play, they don't know how to play. So it's like, you're gonna have fun, kid, and I'm gonna beat your teeth in. Essentially, no, that sounded a little bit too violent. I'm sorry, but it's
No,
like
no, no, no,
it
no,
is
no,
what it
no,
is.
no. It really is what it is. And on top of that, again, these kids are going to be soft.
So now that we've talked about that, we also talked about that other concept within the trailer. We also have to talk about the fact that we are in a school setting. How do we feel about that? Are we into it?
Um, so I'm gonna just say this: even though we're in a school setting, I don't really care because we were supposed to really get that back in Alola. So hopefully, because every time that you go to the Pokemon school, no matter what generation it is, they're always in the beginning. So hopefully, right, if we're in a school setting, because I saw one of the
Mm-hmm.
leaks, and they were
We're
like,
gonna try not to dive too much into the leaks because that's still one of the topics that we have to go through.
so, yeah, like not to dive into it. When I saw the leak itself, and it said that we were in school. Okay, I was like, cool, 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 cool. Now it's like, oh no, like you're gonna have a house to belong to, similar to like Harry Potter. I was like, okay, that's cool. So hopefully even though it's not gonna be set up as a gym, maybe, just maybe, we have exams where it's I'm not sure if you've seen Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, but pretty much in the series, all the duelists, they're in college and they still have their written exams, but then their field test was essentially, okay, yeah, you know how to read,
Duels.
write, but you had to duel to win. And if you ain't passed your dueling exam, then you just, it's essentially you pass or fail for both sides.
Okay, that sounds sort of cool. I'm not really. Listen, I'm gonna be very honest with you. This is like going off from like what essentially is the Pokemon topic. I was with Yu-Gi-Oh only for like the Elemental Hero saga. After that, I
But
after
but
that
you
I
get
have no idea.
but you get the
I
concept
know.
of you're
Yeah,
in school.
I
Yeah,
I do. I do.
that's exactly what I'm going for. Like if we're in school, then we're in school. Give me a test, and then also if you go and test me for like PE in this case, then not physical strength, but just the actual Pokemon battle.
Pokemon battles. Yeah. That sounds cool. I don't like. Let's be really, really honest. I don't think it's gonna happen, but yes, I can see where you're going for, and I can see like the concept that you have in mind. I don't know if it's gonna happen just like that, but if it does, then I'm hyped with it. But if not, I'm like, you know what? We're gonna have fun. That's more important. We're gonna have fun. Talk about the new Pokemons that we have because we got confirmation of three Pokemons, one being the original form, and then we have Fido and Titan. Listen, I am Team Titan all the way. It is so cool. Titan is the big ice type whale that they just introduced. The bipedal, like ice type whale.
I mean, I'm here for it, and here's why. That was obviously it doesn't matter what region the gym leaders. I have to give them my respect because they're the ones that give you the badges. But when I saw that big whale, I was like, this man, this woman really just sent out a whale and is like staring you down. The Pokemon is staring you down just by size, and it's a ice type. I got Candace vibes. Now, not playful, but I mean, not okay. So I got Candace vibes as far as it being a gym leader battle, but like I got Glacia vibes. I feel like this
With her
Pokemon.
war ring.
Exactly. Like I feel like this is going to do some damage. Even though it's an ice type, if I put it against a fighting type, it's going to be able to take at least 2 to 3 hits. It's not going to be a one hit KO unless there's a one hit
One of its
KO.
abilities is Slush Rush. One of its abilities is Slush Rush, and so like underneath the hail, the Titan is gonna move faster. So we have that to look forward to.
And that's the part that really gets me. I'm like, okay, so if I make sure that it's in a snowy terrain, because I'm getting to the point where to cure my boredom, I make Pokemon teams as if I was a gym leader for all the typing. So if
Mm-hmm.
I'm running Hail and I not only have that Slush Rush for the whale, I also have Eskew from Galar. I'm pretty much sitting here like I can outmaneuver you, and every hit that I take on that Eskew, if it's a double battle format, guess what?
Mm-hmm.
You not touching me because the hail is just gonna bring back the one hit KO shield each time.
Mm-hmm. Do remember that ACQ's ability only works with physical contact moves. So if I have a special attacker, you better be make sure that that ACQ is still protected.
Yeah, no, like that's my point. With the way how it looks, and yeah, it might have slush rush. If I set up, a special defense and then I train on special defense for ESQ, then I should be good both ways.
Mm-hmm.
It's versatile is essentially where I'm getting at.
Exactly. So then we have the the Titan. We have Fido. It's really cute, and I like the pun name. You know, it's a dog, but it's made out of dough, so it's Fido. I love it. And then we have Paldean Whooper, Poopa Whoopa. I love it. Paldean Whooper, which is ground poison type. So honestly, I'm just hyped that they're giving regional forms to non-Kanto Pokemon, even though, according to the leaks, we're going to be seeing Kanto Pokemon's getting regional forms, and I'm like not hyped for that. But Paldean Whooper, what do you thought about that?
I mean, I feel like honestly, with Paldean Wolfer, it being a dark and water type, if I'm not mistaken,
Poison and ground type.
poison and ground. Okay, so with it being a poison and ground type, that changes the game
Mm-hmm.
a lot because now it's steel resistant, and on top of that, you can try to use a ground
And
type move. It's not gonna really work. Like Whooper was
and
always built different for ground, but now it's like different.
and it has water absorb as one of its abilities. So you can have a Whooper with water immunity. A
But
Paldean Whooper with water immunity, which is ground poison type. Like it completely negates the weakness to water as one of its counterbalances points. So now you only have like potentially just ground or psychic types that can deal with it.
yeah, that changes the game because I didn't realize they were still going to keep the same abilities. And doesn't water
It's just
absorb?
one. I think they swapped damp for poison touch. It's just Koraidon and Miraidon. They're all sparkly. That's pretty much all I'm gonna say about them. Uh, we got the other Pokemons, and I guess this is the part that we were kind of hoping for. We are going to now talk about, if you're into it, the spoilers that we have. Essentially, what I want to talk about is where is it? Let's just look for the picture real quick. Essentially, what I want to talk about real quick is the possibilities for the Pokedex already being revealed. I don't want to dive too much into anything else because I just think that it's gonna be like fine that we get that when we do, but there is the concept of the Pokedex already being revealed, and usually when the Pokedex gets revealed, we get to see a lot of insight into what the Pokemons we're gonna see. I am still very much like not indifferent because like it's something that I'm actually looking forward to, but I have to say I was expecting more, if that makes sense. I was expecting at least just more into the terms of the numbers that we got. It's okay if we don't. It's okay if we just get these because we also have a lot of returning Pokemons. Like one Pokemon that I'm actually looking forward to being back is Gogoat, which hasn't been in available in any Pokemon game since Kalos, since X and Y. It's been 7 years since we've seen essentially a Gogoat in the wild in the game. So I'm actually like, oh my god, this is gonna be fun. Like we actually have this. Like good for them. However, did it get deleted? I think it's not deleted. Look forward to that. However, we do have to talk about the spoilers. So if you don't want to get spoiled, if you don't want to have this just be revealed to you and so on and so forth, like this is a part of the podcast that you can sign off. You can
Yeah,
sign off. Like we don't hold it against you. You've been with us for a minute. We just been talking about Generation 9, the Scarlet and Violet hype, and so on and so forth. Just getting a feel for each other's thing. I found the picture by the way. But now we're going to just talk about this particular spoiler. I'm not going to dive too much into like the story spoilers and whatnot because that has not been revealed to us by none of the leakers. But sorry, but the concept for the Pokedex, ah, so we have to talk about that essentially. So this is your final warning. This is the make sure you're not here. for the development of it all. Okay, cool. You're not here. You're not here. We're just gonna give you like 5 seconds. Five, four, three, two, one. Okay, so the spoiler coup, with the better known as a Chinese leaker.
Oh, he's
Uh,
retired, by the way.
oh, he did not retire, sweetie. He did not. Like he said, "Oh, I'm out of here." Like he called us the R word. He called us a lot of slurs, and then cut to him about 5 days later. Oh, by the way, I'm back. Here's more information. He did not retire. Like, who is not gonna retire? Let's just say like it is. Like he's messy and he enjoys the mess. So we have the types for some of the Pokemons. We have the concept of some of the Pokemon. By concept, I just mean like the code word for them. In picture, the one that I'm seeing, the amount of Pokemons that are brand new is 90. Because I'm not counting, this is me not counting the paradox forms. The reason why I'm not counting them is because we still have not gotten any confirmation about the paradox forms. We have gotten no input, no insight, no view on them. So we're not really going to dive into them because we don't know if they're real or not. Even though there's some images here and there of them, if they are not confirmed by Nintendo, I'm not gonna really be talking too much about it. So, you know, we're gonna dive into them when we get to them, but I'm not counting them as a overall for the Pokédex. That's essentially what I want to say. We have 90 Pokemon. We have 90 brand new Pokemon. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I feel like we're a little bit below benchmark because typically we get about a good 150. Well, no, let's be more realistic. We get about a good 110.
On average we get like about 110,
Yeah,
not 150. The last region that we got 150 for was Unova.
yeah. But now it's like, okay, we're a little bit under benchmark, but that's not really affecting me too much because we're always going to get new Pokemon. A new generation, we get new Pokemon. We're damn near close to 1,000 at this point. Let's slow up on. Okay, we got this person, that person. You get a new type. You get a new Pokemon. You get a new Pokemon. Everybody gets a new Pokemon. No, let's stop with the Wendy Williams. Let's actually focus on what we wanted, and it sounds like we're somewhat striving towards what we wanted, which is the open world game. So with the 90 new Pokemon, it's good because they're not throwing everything at us. So
Okay.
we're still expecting some brand new stuff. Like, yeah, we have the
Mm-hmm.
leaks to confirm what's real
Mm-hmm.
and what's not real, but at the same time, it's not oversaturated. The reason why I look at leaks is because, of course, it's become a part of the culture now. But
Okay.
I don't really,
So so you don't mind it? It's what I'm hearing.
yeah, I really don't mind the fact that we're 90 new Pokemon this time because instead of
Mm-hmm.
like focusing on giving us an extra 20, instead you put it towards the actual game experience.
Okay. So essentially, what you're saying is reduce the number of the Pokedex, but work more on like the actual game concept and like mechanics of the game.
I mean,
Essentially, is what you're saying, right?
yeah, I mean, there's a balance. There's always going to be a balance. So this game, they're
Uh,
focusing more on the mechanics and the experience of the storyline versus, okay, we're just going to do what we normally do best. It's still Game Freak
okay.
at the end of the day. Game Freak knows what they're doing when it comes to making a Pokemon.
Oh
So,
no, definitely. Like it's at the end of the day, it's their game. So like we are only the consumers. We're only going to be buying the game and playing it. So that sounded so elitist for me. I am so sorry.
I
Like
mean,
we're still buying the game.
but it's the truth.
Like it is the tea. It is the tea. Like not gonna lie. So essentially, this is me diving into spoilers. What we got was the confirmation, quote unquote confirmation, By the way, everything that I'm gonna be saying, like, take it with a grain of salt because at the time of this recording, we don't know if it's gonna change. Brigatito is going to be Grass Dark. Fuecoco is going to be Fire Ghost, and then Quaxley is going to be Water Fighting.
I'm okay with that.
This is just the starters. I have one query with like one qualm with the starters, and it's this: they haven't given us a starters feels that all starters feel balanced since Sinnoh. Torterra, Grass Ground, Infernape, Firefighting, and Empoleon, Water, Steel. And like, essentially what you have is the Pokemon that can KO each other evenly across the map. However, I will say this. Brigatito is Grass and Dark, and with the Dark type, you can take down Fuecoco, which is Fire Ghost, if it happens like that.
I mean,
Quaxley is still Water
shift
Fighting.
tree.
Exactly. Oh yeah, that's another shift tree.
Then
Was there another Grass Dark type Pokemon besides Shift Tree?
not that I know offhand, but Shift Tree has made its name known. For Fuecoco, just essentially it sounds like Typhlosion was
Another
the hype up.
Chandelier.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so yeah.
Yeah. And then Water Fighting, this would be a new Water Fighting type because we haven't had one. No, wait. Poliwrath and Urshifu. And Urshifu Rapid Style, which is Water Fighting essentially.
But that counts as a legendary, so.
It does. Listen, Urshifu is another monster altogether. And anyways, so what we're seeing here is that at least this is harbors a little bit to the Sinnoh thing. The starters can go even with one another. Sprigatito can hit the fire type super effectively with the dark type, and then with the grass type, it can hit the water one. The water one can hit super effective the grass type with its fighting stab instead of its water moves. But then again, water types always have access to at least one ice type move, so we can hopefully see that when we see it. And then Fuecoco can hit, the fire style for the grass type, but then Fuecoco itself doesn't have a way to hit Quaxley.
Yes, it does.
Hard.
Yes, it does. And
how?
Here's why.
It has an immunity to its fighting style.
It has the immunity to the fighting style for sure. But when it comes to ghost types, no matter what, they always reign supreme. Even though they can get folded by dark types, because before fairy types were introduced, it was always Dark and Dragon. If you had Dark and Dragon on your team, you were amazing because you still have access, technically, by technicality speaking. They can easily say, oh yeah, because you're a ghost type, you have access to psychic type moves. It's not a lot of psychic type moves, but we'll definitely give you the main staple, which is Psyshock and Psychic at the end of the day. If you really do need it.
I keep forgetting that ghosts have access to Psychic. So, but essentially what we have here is that they can go even against one another, right?
Which is fine, because, again, all American, just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Checks and balances, and I appreciate that.
Checks and balances. All right. And harboring back to what I just said, we haven't really had this feel of like all starters being even against one another since like Sinnoh. So it's like I'm hype about that.
So now
because Unova,
Emboar
was the only one dual type. Exactly. Unova was the only. Unova, we had 2 mono starters and then Emboar being firefighting, which to this day still does not make sense to me. And then we had Kalos with every starting type being advantages to like its own type. Like for example, Chestnut Grass Fighting, Delphox Fire Psychic, and then Greninja Water Dark, and they could hit each other super effectively by both sides. Mostly Delphox was the only odd one out. And then, Galar, yeah, they were all monotype in Galar. Huh. Now that I think about it. And then we had Alola. They were all dual type. Grass goes, Fire Dark, and Water Very. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Sorry, I went off topic from there. Okay, so we have those, which are the starters. Then we have a flamingo Pokemon that's gonna be fighting flying,
Oh, you know what I'm
which
naming
is
that flamingo?
what?
Don Quixote.
Donkey after One Piece?
Yes.
Weeb.
I,
Weeb.
I literally just got to dress Rosa, so literally I'm like, damn, this man is built different. And then as soon as I saw the leak for the flamingo, I was like, Don Quixote, let this,
Weeb.
let it be competitive.
Weeb. Okay, we hope it's gonna be competitive. We hope it's gonna be like a Halusha type of thing.
Oh, let it be. I will definitely just start going ahead
Yeah.
and
Then we have flying parakeet. No, obviously it's gonna be flying type, but we don't have any confirmation of its dual type. I'm just hoping it's not like normal flying. Like I hope they give it like something else, like some other pistas to like things that we haven't seen before. Or if they keep it mono flying type, which is gonna be like really cool. Okay. Then we have an earthworm Pokemon that it's not a bug type. So it's either going to be ground or it's going to be something else, probably rock. Then we have what seems confirmed as a crab Pokemon. It doesn't have a typing yet. It's hopefully they don't make it water type because they did something with like Crabrawler and then Crabominable, where it's like it was a fighting type and then it turned into a fighting ice type. I hope they do that. It's gonna be cute. Then we have a Sushi who's a dragon and water type.
you said dragon and
I don't
water?
know. Yeah, dragon and water, and it's going to be a sushi.
Mm.
At least that's the code that we have. We have that it's going to be a sushi, and it's like a water dragon type. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cute. It doesn't evolve though. Like the flamingo, the parakeet, the earthworm, the crab, and then the sushi Pokemon don't evolve, and the other three Pokemons I'm going to be talking about won't evolve either. I'm like, oh, okay. So we're getting a lot of single stages Pokemon here. Hopefully they do something further along the line. But the sushi doesn't evolve. Then we have Oyakata Sushi Master. We don't have any confirmation of type for it yet. Then we have a large bird. No typing for it. So we can potentially look forward to this large bird to be like some type of
Duck
physical
trio.
tank or pardon?
I'm
What's that?
thinking it's gonna be similar to like a Doug Trio. Like maybe it's a callback in reference to when Doug Trio was a real menace in the games. Where if you knew
Okay,
what
okay.
you were doing with that bird, even though it had that one type, you could run it.
Dotrio is normal flying.
But wait, it's always been normal flying?
Mm-hmm.
Oh snap! I thought it was just flying.
The only mono flying type birds that we've gotten has been the pre-evolutions of Corviknight, Rookidee, and Corby Squire. They gained the steel type when they evolved into Corviknight. But those have been the only mono flying types. Most of the flying types that we've gotten have been dual types. There hasn't been a pure flying type Pokemon, with the exception of Tornadus, but it's not a bird. Yeah, I know. Anyways, then we have. I feel like I just gave you a lot of information. You're just processing it like, are you okay?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Then we have a lightweight pocket fish.
A
I do
lightweight
not know what that
pocket
means.
fish. What
A,
the fuck?
a lightweight pocket fish. No typing for it. I'm thinking this is gonna be like a wishy-washy situation.
Please.
You remember wishy-washy from Alola?
Oh, bruh. Like I said, I was just looking in Pokemon Home because I'm about to try and build this dragon type team, or at least
Mm-hmm.
dragon like team. And I was looking at
Mm-hmm.
my wishy washy, and I remember why I called it one man army.
Gotcha. So
Wishy
after
washy.
that, we have After that, we have Lechonk, which evolves once and is gonna get another typing aside from its normal typing. We have Fido, which evolves once and it's gonna have an additional typing besides the fairy type. We have Setitan, which has an evolution, and they said that it's gonna be an additional typing, but we already know that Setitan is mono ice type. So either Titan is the base Pokemon and there's gonna be another one, or Titan is the evolution. You know what I mean? Hello?
So when you say, because you said evolution, are we talking about like Eevee type evolution or?
No, I mean sorry. That was my connotation. Like an evolution. You
Oh,
know, like Titan. It says here that Titan evolves.
okay.
However, I don't know if it's gonna be like there's
The
gonna be a pre-evolution to it, or if
yeah,
the Titan is the pre-form and then we have it evolve an additional time. You know what I mean?
yeah, okay. I had
Okay.
that in mind at first, but I was like, wait, let me not try to disregard if you were talking about like if it was going to be like the
Yeah, sorry.
evolution.
It was my fault. I kind of bit my tongue when I was saying that, so it kind of sounded like that. I'm sorry. Then we have an engine Pokemon that is Poison and Steel type, which is gonna be our first Poison Steel type Pokemon that we've ever had.
So you mean
Essentially,
I can run the fate with fairies for real?
yeah. I mean, we've been able to run the Fade with fairies
No,
for
no,
like a
no,
while now. Like
no. But you see straight out the gate like that.
straight out the gate. Apparently so. We're gonna be able to run the fade. Like we're gonna be able to tell the fairy types to like square up. Like what's good. Like this is gonna be Fairy Killer 101. Like I'm gonna roll up to the point. I'm gonna be like, "What's up, girlie?" I said what I meant. I
Listen,
meant
listen.
everything I said. What's good?
I'm gonna throw out a Dragonite, right? And then when I get the one free switch, because I'm gonna put like
It's
both.
1-2.
I'd be like, we not gonna jump you. Come outside.
We're not gonna try to jump to what's that black card outside? What's that
Fight
black
back.
card doing outside? That's how I got here. Like, why is it still running? Just because no, I just want to talk real quick. And then they go out and there's like a whole gang of people outside just waiting for it. Love that. So the engine Pokemon is going to evolve. And then we have the dolphin Pokemon. Okay. Before I dive into the dolphin Pokemon, I just want to address like the rumor that they've been going on that the dolphin Pokemon is gonna have a split evolution depending on the version, I believe, or like depending on the items. Do you know Applin from Galar, the little apple that
Yeah.
evolves into like Appleton or Flapple? I think it's gonna be one of those situations, but the dolphin Pokemon is gonna have a dolphin into a bigger dolphin, and then it's gonna form what the leakers are saying. And this is really irking me. It's gonna be like a dolphin into Neospatian dolphin. You know what I mean? You
Wait.
remember that card?
Wait,
You
wait,
remember
wait.
that card?
I'm
Elemental Hero
sorry.
Neo
You took
Dolphin?
me for a spin with that one. So wait, are you talking? So when you say like Neospatian Dolphin, we're talking about like the card, like Neospatian.
No, what I'm saying is that they're using that as a reference because the dolphin is either
Yeah, I was
going to
saying
evolve into a
as a
bigger
reference.
dolphin.
Yeah, so like it's
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah,
like
yeah.
Dolphin Man essentially.
Exactly. Like it's going to either be a bigger dolphin or it's going to evolve into like a bipedal dolphin thing. And I'm over here like,
I know
I
what
hope
its
not.
I know what its nickname is gonna be regardless.
You're gonna name it Neo.
No. I'm a I gotta figure out what the exact translation is for the sound, but you know that one SpongeBob episode where they kept on cursing.
Oh my god. Got it. Okay, so after the dolphin, we have. By the way, as I keep saying, like the like little title, like I said, dolphin, I said engine. These are the codes that we have for the Pokemon. We don't have names or like the visuals for them. This is just what I'm going off
Listen,
from like the picture.
if we get an
We
actual
have a
engine
flower.
Pokemon, I'm going to go off. I'm gonna be like the little engine that could keeps
The little
going.
engine that could.
Choo
Imagine it being a
choo.
toaster. Imagine it being a toaster, like like my little toaster.
I would have been upset. Like that just ruined the hype right there. I would be okay with
Imagine
it, but like I want the train, you know?
you want to train to have like the imagery.
Yeah,
So we have a flower that's gonna be poisoned with another with another type. Uh, we have to wait and see what it's going to be. Uh, then we have a chili pepper, which is going to be our first grass and fire type Pokemon. I'm actually looking forward to that. Like a grass fire type Pokemon. That's going to be fun. Hopefully they give it good abilities. If not, then it's going to be like very disappointing. Because
Nah,
then we
you
have
know what it needs? It needs that chlorophyll. It
the
has to get
chlorophyll ability.
it has to get that. Even if it's the hidden ability, it has to get that.
Okay, we're gonna be talking seriously. Is it's either gonna be that or it's going to be just like something else.
Yeah,
Like because under the sunlight, it's gonna be a double-edged sword because it can hit hard, but it can get hit hard. You know what I mean? Because fire doesn't resist fire that way. Wait,
exactly.
they do. No, they do, but grass is still weak to fire, so it's just gonna go evenly towards it. But it's now going to have a weakness to ground because grass doesn't resist ground, or did it resist ground? I
No,
don't know. I think
grass
it's gonna have
resists
something.
ground. It's the fire
I think
typing
it's gonna
that's
have a
going to get it
weakness
fucked
to
up.
exactly. I think it's gonna get like a weakness to rock type.
And
Poisons
water.
type is still there because fire. It, maybe yeah, because grass doesn't resist water. Does
No,
it?
no, grass resists water, but because it's a fire type, you can
Yeah, it's still going to be seen. Hmm.
exactly. Like
Okay.
it's gonna be vulnerable for sure. But the versatility,
Hmm.
it's pretty much setting. It sounds like it's gonna be another vocal Rona, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, totally get it.
If you can't get it down within the first two turns, you might as well go on ahead and wipe the board.
And
'Cause
just like control alt delete. So, anyways, we have that. We have a coin that's going to be a ghost type. We have an electric frog, which is honestly, thank God, because I was kind of getting tired of seeing frogs and just always expecting them to be water type. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's a frog, it's going to be water type. But apparently, this is going to be a frog that's going to be electric first. We don't know any confirmation about the secondary typing, so we can just hope. We're going to have a scarab that's going to be a bug type with an additional type, and it evolves. By the way, all these Pokemon that I've been saying ever since the dolphin, they do evolve once. The flower evolves once. The chilling pepper evolves once. The coin evolves once. The frog evolves once. The scarab evolves once. We have an ostrich that's going to be psychic, and it evolves once. Then we have okay, a mushroom and a pink eel that evolves from Pokemon that looks very similar to Tentacool and
the
Diglett,
trailer just dropped.
respectively. The trailer just dropped.
The trailer just
Oh,
dropped. I'm literally watching it in the background. It's talking about competitive play.
oh, wait, no, because we're in the middle of this. I
Oh my
now want to
god!
see the trailer.
I'm
I want to
sorry.
see the trailer now. Wait.
Go watch the trailer. Hold on, wait. What is this lizard Pokemon? Wait, Cyclar,
It's so ugly.
Dragon and normal. Okay, Shed Tail. But this looks like the standard form for the legendary. So does the legendary evolve from this thing?
Hate it. Oh, I hate it. Oh, what is that?
Hold on, wait. Belly drum. Okay, what? Okay, new item mirror herb. Hold on. Okay, Rota. Okay, they're throwing out the Terra, the crystallized, the terraforming, terrestrialization. Okay,
Is
Steam.
it just like the dragon? Oh,
I
I
got
hate
so
it. It
many,
looks so weird.
but it looks like the legendary when you actually look at it,
Uh huh.
which is why I'm like, so you get the legendary, but you have to evolve it, or is there multiple copies of the legendary? Just
Oh
that
my god,
one
this
is
is just going to be like a new thing, like a Cosmog situation. Because if it's gonna be like a Cosmog situation, then
that takes away from it. To be honest,
yeah, it really does.
new move Terra Blast, which changes the type. Really?
Depending on the thing.
This is all that we got?
Wait, I'm still not done with the thing. Oh, nice, Breloom is in the game. Good for him.
Oh, hold on. I gotta see this. Okay, so the trainer card tells you like exactly what house you're from. Okay, let me pause this real quick. Okay, so yeah, this unless it's an iguana, and essentially the legendaries are like a Komodo dragon. That's my understanding from
That's it.
it. Yeah, that's it. That's literally it. It's only
If
one
this is
minute.
it, if this is it, I'm not gonna lie. I am underwhelmed. Like, hi, welcome to Otaku Outsiders, where I am underwhelmed now at this
Like
point. Like, hi,
raw
welcome to Otaku Out.
reactions without video.
Hi, welcome to Raw Reaction, uncut, unedited. I am underwhelmed. Like, okay, so we have to talk about some of the things on the trailer. Okay, you know the Pokedex picture that we were talking about the spoilers? Yeah, scratch that. It's not gonna be about that anymore. This is how we're going to. This is how we're gonna
like
derail.
we just
Like,
totally got derailed. I need to
listen,
address
the
this new
trailer dropped.
dragon.
We're now going to be talking about new things. Okay, first and foremost. Okay, before you even dive about that, first and foremost, Pokemon battles, they look good. They look good. Not gonna lie.
The trainer IDs,
We
they look
have
smooth like.
they look smooth. Let's talk about the positives. They look smooth. Like they be like, oh, okay, work. You be giving us all this thing. Miss thing, snap. Okay, they said snap, crackle, pop, and we're over here like we ate this thing and we're still hungry. This is like, okay, is that all that you're gonna give us? Because if this is all you're gonna give us, like you gave us essentially nothing. It sounded harsher than I intended it to do. Okay.
Bruh.
Cyclizar? Cyclizar?
Okay.
Cyclizar.
So
A
that
dragon and normal type that essentially looks like the legendaries. Cyclizard.
hold on, but look at its
I
signature move because that's where it
Shed
really.
tail. Okay, let's talk about that. It creates a substitute. So it essentially is a combination of substitute and baton pass. Competitive just got its new miracle child. Because if you can give this Pokemon, Dragon Dance, and then Shed Tail, if it survives enough to do a Shed Tail, because remember, Substitute will not go off if you have lower than a certain percentage of health.
Exactly.
This this just became the pivot Pokemon. This just became the momentum using Pokemon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but speaking of
Essentially, if
baton
it learns,
pass,
go
continue.
ahead.
So speaking of
No, go
baton
ahead. You were saying
pass,
something?
with the new item Mirror Herb, that's a dangerous combo. But let's finish what you were talking
It
about
is.
first.
It is. It is. It is. I was just about to dive into that. So essentially, if this Pokemon, let's just hypothesize for a second there. If this Pokemon gets access either to Nasty Plot, Swords Dance, Dragon Dance, any type of the boosting moves that also boost two types or boost one thing by two, and then he gets to pull out this Chet Tail, you have to have at least one way or another to get good because it's gonna hurt. You know what I mean? It's gonna freaking hurt. Like if you partner this with a slower Pokemon that doesn't get access to any of those moves, but can appreciate the boost, you basically swept. Essentially, what we're hearing is like, oh yeah, by the way, you just swept the whole damn thing. Now they basically gave us new Pokemon, new move, and then what? Two, three new items,
No, not even
two
that.
new items.
We
No, okay. So what they did was they gave us a brand new Pokemon, Cyclizar, with its signature move, Shed Tail.
yeah
Then they gave us the confirmation that Breloom is back in the game, Cloyster is back in the game, Magnezone. We already been knew the Magnezone was gonna be in the game because we already saw Magnemite. Uh, Essentially confirmation that once you terrorize your Pokemon,
it
your
doesn't change
stats
type.
and everything, yes, it did because Tyranitar did not get affected by close combat. I still can't. Okay, listen. I'm gonna be very honest with you. It's so ugly.
The the uh
Like
the
the
new
dragon,
dragon.
it's so ugly. I am so sorry. Like I cannot get over it. It looks naked. It looks like I can't stand it. It looks so ugly.
But you know what I was saying earlier with it's probably the
Right?
iguana or like the lower reptile, while the legendaries are gonna be the what you call it, the Komodo dragon of the whole game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like this is just the lower scale reptile that has a direct descent to the legendary, but it's not gonna evolve into the legendary. It just is what it
Exactly.
is.
Exactly. It is what it is. So we have an item called Mirror Herb, which is going to be so OP. It copies immediately the stat changes of another Pokemon without using a move fall. And you know what that opens up? That opens up a lot of things for acrobatic users. You know where acrobatic gets a boost on its damage if the item is used when you use it or when you don't have a held item. So imagine this going off on a Pokemon after it being used with a Dragon Dance.
Why are you telling my strategy already? Like, how did you even know that was my strategy? Okay, because what if I get access to my Infernape? Then what am I supposed to do? Like now I gotta figure
Well,
out a whole new strategy.
well, it is what it is, baby. You should have thought about that. You should have just said, you
I
know what, you stay shut.
I just
You
thought
should have
about
just
that.
you should have just told me you should have stayed shush with that because now people are gonna see this and they're gonna be like, you don't say. You know what? This also opens up a lot of things for competitive next year that people are gonna be scared of boosting up. People are gonna be frightened about boosting up because if they do something and their other Pokemon lead has Mirror Herb and access to Baton Pass or like another momentum switching Pokemon move like that, it's curtains for them. You know what I mean? It's gonna be like, ooh, this is gonna be hitting me hard.
Night
So like
night.
it's an added layer into the complexities of competitive because now people are gonna be like, I do not want to do this. Because if I do this and I go off the way I'm thinking about going off, then it's going to be like, aha, great. Now this other person is gonna copy my stats, and the possibilities of revenge killing is through the roof. You know what I mean?
Especially if it's on a Pokemon that's already built different. Let's say for some
Mm-hmm.
reason, right, Gengar gets confirmed to come to the games. We already know Gengar
Mm-hmm.
is broken off the bat, and then stat boost and baton pass into a Gengar that's already broken as fuck. At that point, you as
At
the
that point,
opponent,
just
you
go
won the
home.
game. You won the game. Just
Just
that's one shot.
at, at that point, just go home, sweetie. Like, don't even stay. Just go. Go home. Go take a cold shower and sit in your dark room and eat ice cream and cry about your life choices. My God.
You can't do that at the World Championships though. We gotta figure out what the alternative is. Maybe they can
Listen,
walk out.
if that happens to me, it's curtains. I'm like, I'm standing up, I'm walking, I'm be like, guy, love you guys so much. Thank you for considering me. I'm pulling a Ben de la Christ. I am pulling a Ben de la Christ. Uh, like that's from RuPaul's Drag Race. If you don't get the reference. Anyways, so we have Mirror Herb, and then we essentially got skill link in an item form, which which loaded dice what does is that it helps the Pokemon use moves that will that will hit multiple times. Like a bullet seed or rollout or like what was it? Like wake no, it wasn't wake up slap. It was like double slap. A move that you would usually have a lot of tick damage, and you have like that chance of it going for one, two, or five times. With this item, it will always hit five times.
And
It's
does it
essentially
is
skill
it a
link.
is it a
It's a held item.
yeah, it's a held item, but like after, does it go off like a herb, or is it just
No, it stays.
it stays?
It stays.
Silence. I just need certain
Breloom
Pokemon.
just got Breloom just got way more dangerous.
I mean, it was already dangerous from the beginning. That's not even who I was thinking about. I was like, I already know, but we are on the lines of a fighting type Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, the OG. I put
Heracross,
not even Heracross.
Hariyama.
Nah, it's a fighting type. Got a
Nah,
Mega
I have no idea.
Evolution.
Which Heracross? Heracross is a fighting type.
Yeah, and I know it has a Mega Evolution, but that's not the fighting type that I'm talking about.
Medicham?
No.
Lucario?
Yeah,
With what move?
Bone Rush.
Oh. This is the extra layers onto it. It's my height, and it's like, oh.
Like now you get it. Now you get the type of danger that I'm trying to put on these people. I'm about to make these kids understand. I'm like, no, you too
It's me
soft, good buddy.
It's me recognizing the dangers of it all. So essentially, we have that, and then we have the confirmation that your Terra type will completely overwrite your weaknesses. Because we just saw a Colossal, which is, by the way, say it with me, 4 times weak to water type, tank a Hydro Pump, activate its ability, and the Hydro Pump did basically little to no damage
But
because
it
its
had
Terra
Steam
type is
Engine,
water.
right?
Yeah, Steam Engine doesn't override the damage. You still get the damage from the move that will hit you, but because you terrorized and now you're a water type, the water type does not hit you hard. What essentially it does is you now get the added benefit of the coverage defensively for that type. So what it means is, because we also saw it later on the trailer with a Tyranitar with the Terra type being Ghost, it was immune to close combat from a Gallade.
Yeah.
So Terra type now adds a new complexity to Pokemon battles.
But the thing is, it also comes with a fifth move. When you terrestrialize, it comes. You no longer have just 4 moves. You have a fifth move.
With Terra Blast?
Yes.
Which
But
is
how many
the new
times
move
do
that
you?
got introduced.
But how many times do you get that Terra Blast? Because the Terra Blast has to
That
be shot
remains
off.
to be seen.
I mean,
That remains to be seen.
No, I know. I'm asking as like a generalized question because, from my understanding, based upon the trailer, like does the Terra? So once you terrestrialize, right?
You stay with that until you switch out the Pokemon, and once you switch it out, it's no longer usable for none of the other Pokemons.
No, I get that part. I'm saying as far as you're gonna keep it in the battle until it goes down. I'm saying does the type change after you Terra Blast, or regardless, once you terrestrialize, the typing has automatically changed because it said something about okay, you got to use the Terra Blast in the trailer in order to change its type. Unless I misread that part.
Okay, so I think the Terra type is like a third, or let's just say it like it is. Like you have, for example, Tyranitar, which was Rock Dark type, and its Terra type in the trailer was Ghost. So once you terrorize, you just become the added Ghost type. Uh, I don't know. That is something that we'll get that answer once we see more into the game, I believe. Because as of right now, we don't have any confirmation for it. Yeah, we don't have any confirmation for it.
I'm about to honestly check the Pokemon website right now.
Okay. I have it here. Terra Blast. It's a move that is a normal type that you can learn thanks to a move machine like a TM. So it's not a fifth move, it's a fourth move. It's like a move that you can teach all your Pokemon, like secret power or essentially hidden power. And then when you terrorize, the damage of the normal move will turn into the accordance of the move will turn into the typing of the Terra type of the Pokemon that you terrorize. It's too many Terras in the name. So it's called Terra Blast, and it's a move that changes according to the Terra type of the Pokemon that you use the new gimmick for. So with the example from Tyranitar, if you terrorize, and Tyranitar is now Rock, Dark, and Ghost, but the Terra type is the Ghost type, it will automatically turn into a Ghost type move. Does it make sense?
Okay. So it, like you said earlier, it's just essentially hidden power.
Yeah, and it's what is this? Okay, and it changes accordingly to the highest base damage stat. It will stay physical if you're a higher physical attacker Pokemon, or it will change into special if your Pokemon is a higher special attacker, which is really good because it adapts to the Pokemon being used.
Okay, so it goes based upon the strength, which in competitive play is very important. Besides speed, unless you're playing a tanky Pokemon, then you're pretty much just
Mm-hmm.
sitting there. Again, with my Gengar reference from earlier, okay, so let's say it's a Eevee, right? Soon after it's done doing what it I mean not an Eevee, but let's say it's a tanky Pokemon, it has the mirror herb, the opponent just did a stat boost. That's crazy. You're still stat, you know what? Here's a perfect example. A perfect example of this, right? So you go into the opponent just did a stat boost, your Pokemon is sitting there and it's a Volcarona. You've already done like three different Quilliver dances already. So you just max speeding out here, and for some reason you were able to evade everything. And the one stat boost already, you already got I believe Quilliver Dance does speed, special attack, or does it just cover all stats and it increase it sharply?
I think it just what happens is that it turns into the more beneficial type of attack coverage. Like if, for example, you're running a Gengar, which is a higher special attacker, Terra
No, I'm
Blast will
talking
just
about
turn it special.
the stat boosting move, Quilliver Dance.
Quiver Dance?
Yeah.
Quiver Dance is still like a special boosting move. It's
Yeah, that's what I'm
special
saying.
defense, special attack, and speed.
Okay, so yeah, you're using Quiller Dance, right? And the
Mm-hmm.
opponent just popped off with that. And mind you, you're holding the mirror herb. So all of
Yeah,
your stats,
you will get the effects.
yeah,
You
you
will
get
get
the effects,
the
and
effects
then
of.
you hit that baton pass on them,
Mm-hmm.
and you go into whatever Pokemon you want. Let's say you go into a Tyranitar for
Mm-hmm.
so for whatever reason, as shown inside the video, and you terrestrialize that. At
Mm-hmm.
that point, at that point, tell me what's going to happen using that Tyranitar. It got max special.
You're going to potentially sweep.
Exactly.
All right. So, we have a new item. It's called Hidden Cape, and this cape protects you against the secondary effects of moves. We see it here being used with Cyclizar, and a Hariyama used Faked Out, and Cyclizar could still use Dragon Claw after the Fake Out. So essentially, it protects you from secondary moves. So it's a scale shield.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
And it's not a one and done item. It's a held item that stays. It's kind of like a Rocky Helmet type of thing. It's
Okay.
just another passive effect on the Pokemon. Honestly, I'm not mad. I'm just underwhelmed because I expected a little bit bigger on the thing. Do you know if that makes any sense?
Oh yeah, when I heard about the trailer, I was like, and they're announcing it at the tournament. I kind of expected this to be a competitive play scene, but I thought we were also gonna get like a little bit more because we're in August right now. The games come out in literally 2.5 months, as we mentioned previously at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning of the video.
Mm-hmm.
We've yet to get a second form for the starter evolutions, along with further details into the story as far as like, okay, besides one gym leader, because it's not at a set pace, okay, that's fine, but I mean, you could still reveal something storyline wise. You know,
Yeah, definitely get it.
that's what I was expecting.
I
Unless,
definitely get it. But I think that's pretty much going to be it for today.
yeah,
Uh,
I mean, if we do the anime portion, that's going to take longer.
all for a while, yeah. So I think it's better if we just start signing off. That was a great episode. It has a lot more content than I thought it would, and we got raw emotions on the live today, so that's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Again, breaking the fourth wall at this moment. This is Sage, aka the Deadpool of the group, for the time being, because Shadow is not here, and normally he would just do the heavy work on that. But y'all ain't hear that from me. Essentially, this is a professional podcast to a degree, but it is not. So, with that said, raw uncut details. Let us know.
Those were uncut.
How do you feel?
How do I what?
I was telling the viewers, let us know how they feel about this. But also, how do you feel about this episode? Because I came in here expecting one thing, and it just did not go as planned.
It completely another. And with that being said, I am John, more better known as Juju, here for the Otaku Outsiders, and I guess this is gonna be curtains. I'll see you when we have more information, and I'll see you when we eventually schedule the anime episode. Sounds good?
Yep.
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening in on us. Again, sorry for the little pause that I had a little bit earlier. Stuff came up, and we are doing this live, so a lot of things can happen when we're doing this live. It's not pre-recorded, and we're pretty much just ripping off of the points that we had, and we pretty much discussed every point that I had. So again, thank you so much for Sage, and to all of you listening to us, stay being otakus,
All right. See you guys next time.
Bye.